Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Nta Biseng Dao, and I am currently doing my face. I've just filled in my brows. Not much is done. So so today we're gonna be doing something different. We're gonna be talking about the famous Moses Sithole, a serial killer, aka the ABC killer. ABC standing for Atteridgeville, that's a township near Pretoria. Boxburg, that's in Gauteng, Johannesburg. And Cleveland, that's a suburb near Johannesburg, so ABC. So he started his crimes in Atteridgeville, moved to Boxburg, and then in Cleveland, and this happened within a space of a year. He did all these gruesome crimes between the year 1994, and he was apprehended in 1995, so that's a year, and he has killed so many people. So now let's just get a background story on this guy, Moses Sithole. So he was born in Vosloorus in 17 on the 17th of November 19 let me check, let me just go back to 1964. Sorry, 1964. Yeah, he was born, and then he was raised by both his parents, father and mother. But at the age of 5, his father passed on. So his father dies, leaving behind his mom, him, and other siblings. It's not really mentioned how many siblings and how old they were, but what happens next is very painful, is very sad. His mom just leaves the kids behind. She just ups and leaves. He leaves them to fend for themselves. She just moves on with her life. She forgets about everything, and she just disappears. Guys, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna be eating. So this is what I'm eating. It's beef stew and pap, very common in South Africa. The time now, let me check, almost 4 p.m. I haven't eaten, not even breakfast, not lunch. This is my first meal. Okay, so now, yeah, so his mom disappears, just ups and leaves. So now Moses now is forced to go into an orphanage home, and he later mentions that in this orphanage home they mistreated him. That's what he says. It was horrible staying there, and yeah. I'm hungry. I'm just gonna take this chunk meat, have that. I'm hungry. So guys, please excuse me if you hear any noises. From what I hear, I think the electrician that is helping with the wiring in the house has arrived. He's just here to do like a few touch-ups, because he's pretty much done with wiring electricity in the house. So okay, he grows up, because you are gonna grow up. It's nature. Whether you are being treated horribly or you are spoiled. The fact is, years are passing by, and so now he's a teenager, and his first arrest is when he is arrested for rape. And he later claims that it was a false it wasn't true. He was falsely accused of rape, and he spent 7 years in prison for that. So now, according to him, now this, along with how his father died at the young age, also his mom, it's dirty, guys. I need to wash my brushes. His mom just, leaving them behind just like that, him and his siblings, that just created this monster inside of him. And then now this woman accusing him of, like, falsely raping her, and he actually spent 7 years in prison. you know that created this monster inside him, and he hated women. He hated women, and his victims were around the ages of 18 to 45. So in my thinking, I'm thinking 18, because yes, he was a teenager when he that's a grinder, a driller or something they working. So yeah, so I think if you are accused of being raped at a very young age as a teenager, your accuser is around that age. So I think 18, the women around the ages of 19, 18, 19, 20, 21, I think they reminded him of that girl that falsely accused him. And then the 45, I think his mom, is what I think. I'm sorry, guys, because the story is very long. I'm gonna talk while I'm eating, because I mean, time. The clock is ticking, and I'm hungry. Another chunk of meat, so soft. I didn't cook this. My helper did. It's nice. Okay, so I'm even using the wrong brush, guys. This is a concealer brush, yes, but it's mostly for blending. So what I'm doing right now, wrong brush. I don't know where my angle brush is, but anyway, we move. So okay, so that's what happens. And you know he gets out, full of anger, towards women, and what he does is he goes for the kill. He wants to attack, he wants his revenge. And he, I guess, he succeeds. He kills, he was a smooth talker, and he was very much involved in youth activities. So I think that was his game plan, because I think he had to, like, play it out. How am I gonna meet these women? How am I gonna get my victims? So I have to be within them. I have to engage with them somehow. So that's what happened. He was very much involved in youth activities, and ironically, he was involved in those activities where, like, the slogans are, or the names are, youth against human abuse, those type of things. And it's it's crazy, it's crazy. So, and he does this, and he kills these women, in Atteridgeville, and then he moves on to Boxburg, and he moves on to Cleveland. And what he used to do is he used to like he would kill these victims, and then if he knows the house number to the victim's home, he would call them, torture them, say the most awful things to them, over the phone. And like it's really, when he moved to Boxburg, he killed about 30 30 women, and that sparked a nationwide panic. And at some point, our then president Utata Nelson Mandela like had to, just come to Boxburg and, like plead with the public, because I don't care how smart you are. If you're gonna do something, you know this horrible, this gruesome, surely someone knows, surely someone has seen, or suspects, and but yeah, like to no avail, like nothing happened, no one came forward, you know and his method of killing is mentioned, is said to be strangulation. This should tell you how much hatred this young man then had. Crazy. When you strangle someone, it's not like in the movies. It's not like on TV where you see this guy or woman attacking this person and they strangle this person within 5 seconds. They collapse and they're dead. It takes time. It takes time for. Oopsie. That just jumped out of my mouth. It takes time for that person to die. Like it's almost maybe 10 minutes. So you can just tell how much this person, you know, how much anger this person possesses, because it's just watching someone die. For 10 minutes. 10 minutes is a long time. It's a very long time. you know so yeah, so that's what happened. He would like take these women to like a remote place, and you can imagine back then, there was like lots and lots of land, like open space, and fields, and trees and whatnot. So he would take them to these remote places, and he would pretend to be interviewing them. And like when you are a young woman, you just finished high school, you're looking for a job, so he would like approach them in a manner where like he's interviewing them for his charity. Apparently he said he had charity, you know and also you must remember, he was involved in like these organizations to fight crime and whatnot. So, and those who know him say he was a one-minute man. You know, you know. In my research about serial killers, is that what I notice is they're very smart, they're very slick, you know, and they use their smartness or their intelligence the wrong way. So he will take these women into a remote area, start beating the victims up, holding them down, raping them, and then the strangulation. And he would use their own underwears to strangle them, or their own item of clothing to strangle them to death. Um, Now, moving on to now his capture as to how he was caught. I guess, in me doing this research about him, this is what I noticed, about him and other, many other serial killers, is that it comes to a point where they are also tired of this life. It's either they are tired of this life, or that that quench, that last, or I think somehow they get fulfilled, because remember, it's revenge. I'm so angry. I hate women because of this happened, and that happened, and these were done by women to me. I'm gonna, I want revenge. So he got his revenge. I think it got to a point where he's like, yeah, I'm okay now. That's what I think, because of how he was captured. He called this journalist. So I think like a lot of newspapers were covering this, because remember, guys, this is back in the days, 1995. Now, there's no social media, TV. Yes, there's TV, but only few families have TV. So newspapers were the thing. Like, newspapers were our phones, and back in those days. Well, I'm saying our, because I was already born, in 1995. So, yes, I was young, but I was already born, Um, so he calls this journalist. I think he is the one that covered most of his, of his stories. So Thompson, Thompson, De Beer, you know, judging by the name and surname, I think he was Afrikaner, or I think it's a woman. I'm not sure. Not sure if the journalist was a woman or a man. So he called Tamsin De Beer, and he identified himself. He was like, I am the man the police is looking for. And you know and I can even tell you where I bury these bodies. I can even tell you the latest that I've buried, and you guys say I killed, I'm just gonna estimate, because it says 30, or and he's like, you guys say I killed 38 people. It's twice the number. It's a lot of people that I've it's a lot of women that I've killed. And it's and at some stage he attacked a woman when she was with her son, and he, while attacking this woman, he also, like, hit the son in the head, and just left that baby boy to die, and so he gives out his identities, like, yeah, it's me, you know and now the journalist is like, come on, like, where are you? And obviously, like, wanting to know, like, okay, why are you telling me this? Are you tired of this life or whatever? And then I think he just hung up. And he was like, okay, because, like, obviously, like, investigations are happening, and I think the investigators went back to Norman. This is the guy that raped a girl while he was a teenager. So now a sketch of him was out there. Now he was identified, and people were very much now, very much aware of who this serial killer is. So so now now they knew who they were looking for. And and then he was spotted somewhere around Johannesburg with, a victim, because now remember, this was his life. So he, and then I think he knew that something is not right here. So he he disappeared into thin air. I think he just, like, his intuition just told him that no, something is not right, like I'm being cornered here. He disappeared, and then later he was apprehended, and then he was shot. He was shot at while tackling and fighting a constable, because like the police, the sergeants, when they go and arrest the person, like the constables are also there. And remember, this is a serial killer, so more men, more manpower was needed. So yeah, and then he was driven to hospital, and then he was tested. And remember, 1994, 1995, that's when, like, the HIV virus was, like, the thing, this new. And he was found to be HIV positive. Like, obviously, like, how can he not? Because he was busy, like, raping women every day, each and every day. So obviously he was gonna come into contact with the virus. And then he was taken to court, and I'm sorry, taken to prison, and he was taken to he was taken to Pretoria CMAX, prison, obviously. Where else, so he was taken to the Pretoria central imprisonment. And the justice of that time, Justice David Castros, ordered that Sithole would be required to serve at least 920 years before being eligible for parole. That's a hefty sentence, and as he should, because he was cruel. He was cruel. No matter how much of no matter what background you come from, it doesn't really, like, give you an excuse to do what you did. And he was given all these sentences, and he was taken to Pretoria Central Prison, the CMAX. So yeah, and now it is said that he is Mangaung in Mangaung Correctional Services, you know. And apparently he's still alive. And remember, this guy was tested positive, HIV positive, in 1995. He must have the strongest immune system ever. So yeah, that's the story of Baba Moses Sithole, who caused havoc. So you guys do look out for another story. So we're gonna be covering Ananias Party. So I'm gonna be covering him next. And yeah, just comment down below if you've heard about Ubaba Moses Sithole, and what do you know about, do you remember growing up hearing about him, or is this the first time you're hearing about this? Yeah, just do engage, do comment down below, and do subscribe to the channel. Yes, we are still on lockdown. We are still in lockdown in the country, and we're gonna be moving to we in level 3. We're gonna be, I don't know, like, they're gonna relax the level 3 on the 1st of June. So today I think it's like the 25th, something like that, 25th, 24th of June. So yeah, see you next time. I'm not gonna do my face any further. I'm not gonna put, like, anything now, because I was just like, I thought, like, I'll be, like, telling the story and put on makeup, but now I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna leave it like this. Okay guys, bye.